Right now at noon, a newly released budget proposal in Dane County. Who would pay more and who might pay less? Plus, construction could be impacting your drive to and from work in Madison. And emergency service response times are being impacted, but not in the way you might think. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellie Liberté, filling in for Josh Sprider. Breaking news this morning, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has submitted documents to the Second Appeals Court to have his name removed from the ballot. A memorandum was ordered to be submitted by 11 this morning and answer 3 questions. The first, does it matter if ballots have not been tested with stickers through voting machines? The Kennedy campaign says no machines should have already been tested. The second question, if a candidate dies, would create a vacancy, would stickers be used? The Kennedy campaign says there are 50 years of precedent and state law that says yes. The third is whether clerks have discretion to apply stickers. The Kennedy campaign says no, they should be directed to put stickers on rather than have the option to. The Wisconsin Election Commission has until 11 tomorrow to submit their response. And new at noon, Dane County dispatchers say nobody was seriously injured after a bus crashed into a motorcycle this morning. It happened at about 6:30 this morning at Nord Drive and Ramish Road in Waunakee between the Culvers and Nord Gear Corporation. It's unclear if there were any students on the bus at the time of the crash. And Dane County's budget proposal is out, and county leaders say it focuses on families. There's a nearly 50% decrease in this year's capital plan, but it would increase property taxes. The average Madison home will see taxes raised by $17. Interim Dane County Executive Jamie Kuhn says she's been looking to be responsible with taxpayer dollars while maintaining services at current levels. But there are areas where her office is looking for more funding.
We endeavor to strengthen this connection to families by investing in the areas of highest need and fill gaps that exist in our current service.
This proposal totals more than $903 million. That's nearly a 7% decrease. The operating budget is $813 million. The capital plan is at $90 million. The tax rate is down 16 cents from this year. Well, as leaves start to fall, you will want to hold off on burning any until we get some rain. This map is from the Wisconsin DNR, and everything in yellow is under high fire danger. 20 counties in southern Wisconsin are under the high danger, including Dane, Rock, and Columbia. Madison has received just 2/100ths of an inch of rain this month, while other parts of the state haven't seen a drop. Now let's go to First Warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka with a chance for rain in the forecast and where we stand on this developing drought. What is that looking like, Kelly?
Yeah, you know, we just got the drought conditions report out this morning, and we've been seeing the drought conditions get worse and expand across southern Wisconsin. In fact, as we look at our drought monitor that, as mentioned, came in this morning, that yellow shading, that's the abnormally dry. All of southern Wisconsin in that now, and also we have some moderate drought conditions. You can see that strip just to the north of Madison, then also one down to the south, straddling the Illinois border. So drought conditions still continue to get worse, but the good news is we finally have some rain coming our way. Above average temperatures, feeling like summer still, as this will be the 10th day that we've been in the 80s now in a row. We are looking at some of these storms rolling in tonight, and on and off rain expected later in the weekend into early next week. All right, we are under a marginal risk of severe weather. The area in green, Madison areas to the west, slight risk of severe weather. So the main threat is going to be to the west right now. We just have some of these storms that have been firing up over Minnesota. Those will be headed our way eventually, but not until this evening, later this evening to the west, then eventually Madison. Otherwise, it's going to be a warm afternoon as we climb in the mid to upper 80s. We'll track those storm chances tonight and also again later in the weekend coming up.
Thank you, Kelly. We'll check back in. Well, the Madison Fire Department is investigating a fire from last night. Crews were called to a home on the northeast side just before 10 p.m. They found thick smoke coming from an attached garage. The fire was put out after 5 minutes. Owners say they discovered the fire after smelling smoke and hearing the fire alarms. No one was reported injured. The estimate damages are $15,000. Well, sentencing will take place next Thursday for a former Sun Prairie School resource officer. 35-year-old Lamont Crockett pleaded guilty to child enticement. Prosecutors charged Crockett 3 times in 2023. 2 additional charges have since been dismissed. Police arrested Crockett after a victim said he assaulted them during their time in high school. At the time, the victim says they were 16 years old. The full details can be found right now on our website, channel3000.com. Well, if you've driven downtown Madison or the city's west side, you may have noticed a lot of construction. It's causing delays, especially during rush hour. Our Tanasia Shaw asked first responders how the construction is impacting their response times.
A lot of times what we've noticed is once this construction is done, it makes the roads nicer. We're creating more bike paths, and it's just overall making the city look better and become a safer city.
There's currently more than 15 active construction projects on Madison roads. It's something we see every day. It impacts rush hour both in the morning and afternoon. But first responders say they prepare for construction before any orange cones even go up.
Like the traffic side of the city is communicating with MPD, and MPD is then communicating with officers to be like, hey, this is the major road construction that's going on. This is where it's going to be happening. Plan for, some of that stuff in advance.
Both Madison Fire and police say construction on the road barely impacts response times.
Thanks to our traffic layout, these aren't significant impacts for us. But if it's a time of heavy traffic or heavy use, then it might add in some more time.
What can challenge active response times the most during construction are drivers on the road.
I think we have bigger issues with getting people to recognize that when an emergency vehicle is behind them and being able to pull over to the right to allow us to give us the right of way. People just stop in the middle of the road because they don't know where to go, or they ignore and think that they're going to try and stay in front of us. That's where we start to run into problems where we get some more significant delays, because then we kind of get stuck in traffic. Then we can't change our route left and right because there's just too much traffic.
That was our Tanisha Shaw reporting. Americans will finally see some relief when it comes to interest rates. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates for the first time in 4 years. The standard rate is now down 0.5 percentage point. That's twice the usual deduction of 0.25%. Rates have been at a 23-year high for more than a year. Here's what the Fed chair is saying about the decision.
We are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials. The U.S. economy is in good shape. It's growing at a solid pace. Inflation is coming down. The labor market is in a strong pace. We want to keep it there. That's what we're doing.
The Fed says they're well positioned to deal with the risks and uncertainties ahead. They have 2 more meetings before the end of the year could decide to cut rates again. And still ahead for this afternoon, the Federal Reserve cut its rate by 0.5%. And air travel is looking at a record year on Money Watch.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward. Furniture and Appliance Mart is celebrating 55 years in business with the lowest prices on appliances and zero-interest financing for 55 months, plus weekly doorbusters and up to $300 in free groceries at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
I live in Michigan. I'm a 2-time Trump voter, and I am not voting for him again this year. Trump is stating that he is running for America. Trump is not running for America. He is running so that he can pardon himself, so that he can exercise immunity, so that he can rub shoulders with dictators around the world. I will never vote for Trump again.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Rank Seed is rooted in technology, striving to bring the best products to their customers. With DNA genetic breeding, GPS-linked yield assessment, along with gravity tables and color sorters to make the best seed. Rank Seed, rooted in technology.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years. Highest gas prices ever. Skyrocketing interest rates. Unaffordable housing. Incomes down. Unemployment rising. And a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. Pella manufactures, tests, installs, services, and warranties their products, meaning quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella window and door for timeless beauty and performance. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Brian Style worked to overturn Roe v. Wade, called it a great victory. Brian Stiles' victory banned abortion in Wisconsin, and his agenda would ban it nationwide, with surveillance of pregnancies and restricting birth control and fertility treatments. Peter Barca fights to protect our freedoms, not tear them away.
He backs Wisconsin's law enforcement, firefighters, and unions.
And Peter does what's right no matter what party it is.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Ashley's massive 55th anniversary celebration is on now. Get rock bottom prices on top mattress brands. Plus, our gift to you, 0 interest financing for 55 months. And weekly mattress doorbusters, only at Ashley.
The Federal Reserve cut its benchmark interest rate by 0.5 percentage point. That's more than expected. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said the decision came as the agency predicts that inflation will soon hit its target of 2% and unemployment could tick up slightly to 4.4%. The move will bring down the cost of borrowing, though consumers may not see the effects right away. General Motors is now selling adapters for Tesla chargers to its electric vehicle owners. The adapters cost $225 each. The Detroit-based car maker says the move will open up Tesla's more than 230,000 charging stations across North America to its customers. GM owners can purchase the adapters through the company's app. And this has been a record-breaking year for air travel in North America. According to a new J.D. Power study, Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport ranks highest in customer satisfaction among the mega-size airports. John Wayne Airport in California's Orange County and Indianapolis International Airport top the list for large and medium-sized airports. J.D. Power said its survey took into account several criteria like crowd control, prices of food and beverages, and local charm. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Carissa Lawson.
And at the noon hour, Wall Street is looking towards record highs today after the Federal Reserve made its rate cut yesterday, and the markets also slightly dipped yesterday. The Dow gained 555 points, the Nasdaq is up 486.5 points, and the S&P 500 picked up 103 points so far. And Pam is watching today's ag prices straight ahead, and we are tracking your first warn forecast. And then later on live at 4, do you have big plans until a migraine takes you down for a day or two? Well, Dr. Zorba Pastor is here to talk about migraine management and triggers that cause them.
Eric Hovde is a multimillionaire California bank CEO, but when it comes to our healthcare, his plans aren't so rich. Hovde says he wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
We have to try to defund every aspect of Obamacare,
costing 200,000 Wisconsin families their healthcare. And Hovde supported policies that will cut Social Security and Medicare and raise the Social Security retirement age. A millionaire lifestyle works great for Hovde, but his plans on healthcare are a disaster for us. Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
This September, it's time to celebrate Portage Furniture's anniversary sale. For decades, we've been a staple of our downtown community, and we're proud of those roots. We've built a reputation for quality service and beautiful forever furniture, and you can save on all of the top brands: Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, Serta mattresses, and always free delivery. Shop local this September at Portage Furniture's anniversary sale. Don't you just love a good reason to celebrate?
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Get free estimates fast on new energy-efficient windows from Jeld-Wen. Choose from vinyl or wood windows and customize the perfect size and unique features for your home. Get an 11% rebate on all Jeld-Wen windows. Shop the largest selection of in-stock garage doors or design your own using our free garage door design program. This 9x7 garage door is just $399.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
They produced yacht rock hits that defined an era. It's Ambrosia. Performing live October 12th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. with special guest John Ford Coley. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Soft rock that rocked the yacht. Ambrosia, John Ford Coley, October 12th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Career politicians like Peter Barca will say anything to get elected. His latest negative ad against Brian Style, it's been called blatantly false. The truth, Style has always supported IVF. He co-sponsored a resolution supporting IVF. And Style backs legislation to help families afford IVF. Peter Barca can sling mud, but we deserve better than just another lying career politician.
I'm Brian Style, and I approve this message.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is out of the radio barn for the rest of the week, but here are your farm numbers. Now let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Kelly Slifka is out on the weather patio. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, good afternoon. It is another warm one. In fact, this is the 10th day in a row that we've been in the 80s. And here we're getting it past the halfway point of September. And it looks like we've got a couple more warm days. But also, thankfully, yeah, it's been nice and warm out, but we really need some rain. We do have our chances coming in. That'll be coming in later on this evening. We've had some showers and storms roll across parts of Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin. I think a lot of this that we're seeing developing now is going to fizzle, likely to bring us some cloud cover for this afternoon. But we're going to see more development over southern Minnesota as we go through this evening. That will likely sweep through southern Wisconsin later this evening through the overnight period. Now, some of these storms, as they move out of Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, you can see that yellow shading. That's indicating a slight risk of severe weather. So there may be some hail and some strong winds with some of those storms as they roll into the Mississippi River Valley. A lot of these will weaken as they get toward Madison, and some of this will break up. And unfortunately, some areas to the east might not see any rain out of that. But don't worry, we've got more chances of rain in our forecast. It looks like by the end of the weekend into early next week. We were thinking it would hold off until Monday, but now it looks like it's coming in a little bit sooner. This one will spread in a lot of rain for all of southern Wisconsin, so we're definitely in need of it. This was the latest drought conditions report that came out this morning. A lot of abnormally dry across all of southern Wisconsin, but you do see a couple of strips of moderate drought conditions north of Madison, then down to the south as well. So some much needed rain on the way. Above average temperatures are going to continue. We'll back off a little bit later this weekend into next week, but still above average. Storms roll through this evening to the west toward the midnight hour here in Madison. And then we've got more rain chances. It looks like it's going to move up to Sunday. I know a lot of folks would like to see Sunday be dry, but it looks like we are expecting some rain to move in Sunday. That'll continue through Monday into Tuesday. Now, as far as tonight, it looks like most of the evening should be dry, except for areas to the west of Madison. It's right around that midnight hour that we're expecting some of these storms to roll through the Madison area. 87 expected today, 65 tonight. So there's our temperatures over the next 24 hours. Quite a change from what it should be. 72 is the average high for this time of the year. Future track, looking at the sun this afternoon. Temperatures climbing in mid to upper 80s. We'll start to see some of these clouds increase this evening. Noticing that line of storms rolling through the La Crosse area here at 9 o'clock. The Coulee region, eventually toward the Wisconsin River Valley, 10, 11 o'clock, the Dells, Boscobel, Lone Rock, Madison area around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. But watch how that breaks up as it passes through Madison and areas to the east. Then I think we'll actually get back into sunshine tomorrow afternoon. Rainfall amounts heaviest toward the Wisconsin River Valley or the Mississippi River Valley, where some locations could be picking up 1 to 2 inches, lesser amounts from Madison areas to the east. Then we're talking about more chance of rain coming in later Saturday night and especially Sunday. We've got pretty widespread rains expected Sunday, so it looks like it could be kind of a washout, but at least we're getting some of that beneficial rain. That will continue into Monday of next week. We're at 82 right now, 84 already in Janesville, 84 in the Dells and also Lone Rock. 87 today with that chance of storms rolling in later this evening through the overnight. 83 tomorrow, 84 Saturday. Some more 80s before that rain settles in Sunday. That'll continue to Monday. Then we're back in the 70s much of next week.
All right, thank you, Kelly. It sounds like we're going to be getting some of that much-needed rain.
Yeah, we've got a couple of rounds, one this evening, but more importantly, kind of a soaker later Sunday into Monday.
All right, well, thank you. And Howard's in the Mr. Food test kitchen, and before he starts preparing today's dish, he has a quiz.
Stromboli. Before we get going today, what do you say we start off with a bit of trivia? Let's see if you can get this one right. The question is, what is Stromboli? Is it A, an island off the coast of Italy, B, rolled up pizza dough that's stuffed and baked, C, the name of a volcano, or D, all of the above? If you guess D, all of the above, you're right. But since we only have 90 seconds and we aren't a geography or history show, I say we focus on B, the rolled up pizza dough that's stuffed with all sorts of goodness. To make this Italian favorite, all we do is combine some ricotta and mozzarella cheese, a bit of oregano, and a little salt. Once that's mixed, we add some chopped spinach that we sauteed with lots of minced garlic, and we let that cool. This mixture gets spread onto refrigerated pizza dough that we've unrolled and cut into quarters. Now, we roll this up and place it on a baking sheet, seam side down. Once it's baked and the crust is golden, it's ready to serve. And don't forget to warm up some spaghetti sauce for Dunkin' or to spoon over it. To get the recipe for our spinach and cheese stromboli, just visit our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an unquestionably tasty way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And just ahead, Lisa Bernard is here with the Dane County Humane Society for Pet of the Week. Our pet guest is in the studio, Tiffany.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
4 years ago, rioters set this Minneapolis police station on fire, trying to burn me and my fellow police officers alive. Governor Tim Walz left us for dead. And Kamala Harris?
This is a movement, I'm telling you. Everyone beware. They're not going to let up, and they should not.
She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding the police. Kamala sold cops out and put families at risk. Kamala Harris is too weak and too dangerous to be president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need, because they're a part of them, because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days the cost to make Great-Grandma Balwig's Blue Ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest.
Even to travel to get an abortion.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade. When you vote, please think about me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade,
he couldn't care less.
And welcome back. Lisa Bernard from the Dane County Humane Society is here with Tiffany. So tell us about Tiffany.
Tiffany is very cute. She's a 2-month-old boxer mix who just arrived at the shelter last week with 4 other siblings, but one of them have already been adopted, so she's got 3 siblings left who are also looking for a home like she is. She came from Alabama, an overcrowded shelter in Alabama, and she is just super sweet. She gets a little shy with new places, which is totally natural, but just having some encouraging treats, which she just adores, as you can tell, and making it a positive experience has been really helping her open up and find that she's a tail-wagging drummer. So she's super friendly. She loves to snuggle. She enjoys playing too, so she's such a cutie.
Yeah, so you brought one of her toys. She likes toys, you were telling me earlier too.
Yep, she was playing a little bit with the squeaker, so and obviously treats. I'm sure she'll love chasing a ball too. So getting some exercise, learning how to walk on leash. So she's looking for a family who wants to go through all the puppy stages of training, learning everything, and then also teething. She's doing a little bit of teething, not too much though. So.
All right.
But
she's such a cutie. Seems like she's got a lot of energy today.
she does. She's getting more and more energy because she's getting more comfortable, which is great to see. So if you want to adopt her and meet her, you should come today or tomorrow because our shelter is closed on Saturday because of our big event, Bark and Wine. So, but we'll reopen on Sunday.
You like my watch there, huh? Well, yeah, let's go ahead and tell our viewers about what's going on Saturday. So a reminder, there's still time to reserve a spot for the Bark and Wine tailgate. There's an online bidding on the more than 250 items in the auction and donating to vote for your favorite team. The team with the highest donation tally at the end of the Bark and Wine this Saturday, September 21st, will be the crowned winner. All auction proceeds and donations support DHSS's life-saving work to help thousands of animals in need. To cast your vote and place your bids, you can visit giveshelter.org. And last week's pet, Mannix and Columbo, have been adopted. Mannix was actually adopted by one of our reporters here. But if you're interested in adopting Tiffany or checking out any other animals at the Dane County Humane Society, you can go to giveshelter.org. And we will now go to Kelly Slifko, who's tracking our weather.
Yeah, we've got another warm afternoon. This was the 10th day in a row that we've been in the 80s, and it looks like we've got a couple more of these days before some rain moves in. We actually have some rain that'll be moving in later tonight. So watching our future track, it's going to be a warm afternoon, dry. Early this evening it should be quiet, but you can see some storms rolling through La Crosse here at 9 o'clock, the Wisconsin River Valley, 10, 11 o'clock, then eventually toward Madison, Platteville here at midnight. Starts to break up, though, as it moves down to the east, but it looks like all of us will see at least some rain before starting to clear up already by the morning hours. Temperatures in the 80s right now. We're headed to 87 with that chance of rain developing later this evening through the overnight. Still in the 80s through Saturday, but rain moves in Sunday. That'll continue to Monday of next week.
All right, thank you, Kelly.